Shri Guru Charitre, Chapter 20. Guru Nath's blessings on the Brahmin's wife. The chapter describes that even after Guru Nath left the Panchaganga Kshetra, that is Narsubwadi, his padukas which had been left under the Audumbar tree continued to respond to the prayers of the devotees as per the assurance given to the Yogini Ganas by Guru Nath. A woman was freed from a Brahma Rakshasa who had cursed death to all the 5 children born to her. With the grace of Guru Nath, 2 sons were born again to her. But one of the sons, just when the parents were planning to do his Upanayana ceremony, dies. Guru Nath, in the guise of a yogi, appears before her and imparts philosophical teaching about the inevitability of death. He tries to reconcile her with the event, but the woman remains inconsolable. In this chapter, Siddhamuni described to Namdarak the Audumbara Sthan Mahima, which remained undiminished and ever full, even after Guru Nath's departure from there to Ganagapur. Guru Nath continued to reside there, but in his invisible form, and continued to shower his grace on whoever offered worship to the Guru Padukas at the foot of the Audumbar tree on the confluence of the Panchaganga at Amarapur. In a village called Sri Rolgrem, there lived a Brahmin couple. The woman gave birth to 5 sons, but unfortunately none survived. The woman was plunged in grief at the loss of all her sons. She started praying to Guru Nath that he should expiate her from her previous life's sins and save her. One night, Guru Nath appeared in a dream in the guise of a Brahmin. He comforted her and consoled her. He said that none can escape destiny, that is, the consequences of deeds, whether done knowingly or unknowingly. He told her further, in your previous life there was one Brahmin of Saunuka Gotra. You borrowed 100 rupees from him, which you did not repay. He was greatly upset about your non-payment and, in desperation, committed suicide. He became a ghost after his death and has been haunting you with vengeance in your present life. He has been the cause of death of all your sons. The woman prayed to the Brahmin who was talking to her in her dream to tell her how she could atone for it and get freed from the ghost. The Brahmin told her when the Brahmin died, he had none to perform his funeral rites. It is now past 16 years since his death. You now arrange for his funeral rites and give the 100 rupees you owed him in charity in the dead man's name to any Brahmin belonging to his Gotra, that is, the same Saunaka Gotra. After doing this, you will have to do penance for a month as follows. You take a bath at the confluence of Panchaganga and Krishna rivers and do 7 pradakshinas around the Audumbar tree there, observing fast. You do the same again after bathing in Papa Vinashini Tirtha and Kamya Tirtha. You do Abhisheka to the Guru Padukas and offer your worship with all sincerity and devotion. If you do accordingly, all the sins of your past lives will be washed off and you will bear a noble and good son, and your desires will be fulfilled. To this, the woman replied, O Mahatma, I can do all the fasts and worship, but how can I repay the 100 rupees? I am too poor to do that. After saying thus, she began sobbing. The Brahmin then said, Have faith in the Audumbar. It is none else but the celestial Kalpavriksha. Through your worship to it, all good will accrue to you. The next morning after the dream, she started on her 1-month penance. She was fasting, and after taking bath in the holy confluence and other tirthas, that is, Papa Vinashini and Kamya Tirtha, she was making pradakshinas, that is, circumambulations, around the holy Audumbar tree and was doing abhisheka and worship to the Guru Padukas. The 3rd night after she started her penance, the Brahmin ghost appeared in a dream and demanded for her immediate repayment of the 100 rupees. He was threatening her that he would throttle her neck if she did not pay him. In mortal fright, she started running towards the Audumbar tree. She found Guru Nath standing there. The ghost who was chasing her stopped suddenly, seeing Guru Nath. The woman fell at Guru Nath's feet, praying to be saved. Guru Nath looked at the ghost and said, "Do not trouble her any longer. She took refuge at my feet, and no harm would ever come to her hereafter. If you give up your ill will against her, I will rescue you also. I will tell her to do atonement rites to you with whatever money she could manage and relieve you from your present state. I bless you to attain better state of life." The ghost was reconciled. Guru Nath told the woman, "You start the atonement rites from tomorrow itself. You will be freed from the sin of causing the Brahmin's death. After that, every day for a week, make 7 pradakshinas around the Audumbar tree. You will have a son who will live long." At this, the woman suddenly woke up from her sleep and felt greatly relieved. She observed the instructions of Guru Nath meticulously and was freed from the persecution by the ghost forever. Thereafter, one night the woman had a dream in which Guru Nath gave her 2 coconuts and said, "My child, you take these 2 coconuts. You will have offspring and will have all happiness." After the woman finished her worship as told by Guru Nath, she returned to her village. In the course of the year, she gave birth to 2 sons. The woman and her husband were very happy. The children grew up. As they attained the Upanayana age, the parents were planning the celebration with great enthusiasm. But alas, the elder boy, just in his 8th year, suddenly died after a very brief illness. The woman broke down in grief and was wailing. Her relatives tried to console her and were preparing to take the body for cremation as it was nearing sunset. But the woman did not allow them to remove the body. She was blaming Guru Nath that although he gave her 2 sons, he had snatched away one of them without showing any mercy. She said, "Is this the repayment you do to me after all my vigils, fasts and worship? What is the use of all worship? It is all nothing but madness on my part. I will end my life and join my dead son." At this juncture, a brahmachari came over. He was trying to comfort and console her, talking to her about the immortality of the spirit and how the body is temporary. Can you guess who this visitor was? He was none else but Sri Guru Nath himself. Jai Gurudeva.